Hey guys, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Zombie Dice Horde Edition. Alright, so Zombie Dice Horde Edition is a game from Steve Jackson Games. It's a quick, fillery style dice rolling game where you're trying to be the first person to collect 13 brains to be the winner. The Horde Edition has a couple expansions to go along with the base game. They don't really change the game a ton. They just add a few extra dice and a few additional rules. So that's enough for the quick overview. Let's go down to the table, see how it plays. Alright, so what you're going to get in Zombie Dice Horde Edition, first and foremost, are 13 dice from the base game, which are all these right here, and this bag to keep everything in. You'll put the dice in the bag. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so for the base game, what you're going to do is you're going to draw 3 dice out of the bag. So let's go ahead and go in here, do some shuffling. 3 dice. Alright, you're going to roll the dice. Alright, so any brains you can set aside, and any shotgun blast you can set aside. At any point after your roll, you can stop. The brains that you have will count towards your score. The shotguns are irrelevant. So I don't want to stop here. I'll keep going. I'll take 3 more dice out of the bag. So I'll get in here, take 3 more dice. 3 dice. Okay, gonna roll the dice. Alright, got 2 more brains and 2 shotguns. So I think that's a pretty good turn for me. So I would get 4 points. I put all the dice away, and it would pass on to the next person. You're gonna keep going like this until one player gets 13 points. You're gonna finish that round, and then whoever has the most points is the winner. So on the dice, the green die, there's a red die, and there's a yellow die. So the green dice have the most probability of getting brains. The yellow die has the second most, and the red die has the most shotgun blasts. So you're going to want to keep that in mind when you're rolling. If you pull out 3 red dice, chances are you're going to hit a bunch of shotguns. So that's the base game. Now let's take a look at the first expansion, Hadees, Hunks, and Santa Claus. So this is the first expansion for Zombie Dice. This is the Hadees, the Hunk, and Santa Claus. So to set this up, you're going to grab the Hadee, the Hunk, and Santa Claus. The Hadee is pink, the Hunk is white, Santa Claus is red. And you're going to take 2 yellow dice and a red die out of the bag, or 2 yellow dice and a green die out of the bag. And then you're going to put these 3 in the bag. And you're going to play the normal game. So you're going to draw 3 dice out. You're going to roll them. Same rules. Put the brains aside. Footprints. You can re-roll the footprints. So you grab 1 more die out of the bag. I got the Hunk. You roll them. Ooh, got 2 brains in the Hunk. And a shotgun. Want to keep going? Re-roll. Santa Claus. Alright, so Santa Claus sits to the side. So I rolled an energy drink. So what happens here, energy drink turns all green footprints into green brains. So now this is a green brain. And this sits to the side for the rest of the game. I think I'm going to stop now because I have 1 shotgun, and if I get 2 more, I lose. So that would be my score. I'd get 4 points, and then it'll move on to the next player. So let's go over the extra dice a little bit. So Santa Claus is red. It has an energy drink side, which turns green footprints into brains. It has a helmet, which means you can take 4 shots instead of 3. And it has 2 brains, which is just 2 brains. So yeah, that's a little cool deal there. Just adds a little bit of flavor to the game. And the Hadee and the Hunk are a little different. So the Hunk, as you can see, he has 2 shotguns. Let's find the Hadee here. And the Hadee has normal dice, except she's pink. So what happens here, say I rolled a brain on the Hadee. The Hunk could come in with a shotgun and send this Hadee die back to the bag. He basically rescues the Hadee from the zombies. Same thing, if the Hadee rolls a shotgun and the Hunk is brains, it will go back into the bag, and basically it rescues, the Hadee rescues the Hunk rescues the Hadees. So that's the Hadee, Hunk, and Santa Claus. Now let's take a look at the school bus. So this is the school bus expansion. So basically, this plays exactly like the last 2. So if you're going to play with Santa Claus, the Hadee, and the Hunk, you just remove the 2 yellows and a green. Otherwise, you just put all 13 of the original dice in, and you add this bad boy, this yellow die with some extra awesome sides. And you also have to play with these tokens. There are shotgun tokens that have a little shotgun blast, and there are brain tokens. All right, so just like normal game, on your turn, you can decide if you want to take 3 dice out of the bag, like this, or you can take 2 dice and roll the school bus. So you'd roll them. All right, same rules. So this one has a brain and a shotgun. So I would take a brain token and a shotgun token, and I'll re-roll this one, and I have 2 shotguns. So I'm gonna keep going. So I'll re-roll 2 more, 1 more in the school bus again. So, all right, so I have 3 brains. So I want to stop. So I get 3 brains. And so you're going to keep doing that until someone gets 13. And then you play another round. Whoever has the most points wins. So let's take a look at the difference between the brain and the regular. So as you can see, there are some sides in the brain die, or the school bus die, that has 2 brains and a shotgun. There's a 3 brain side somewhere. 3 brain side. There's a stop sign, which means your turn is over. So if you have 3 shotguns, you would stop anyway. But if you have less than 3 shotguns, if you roll this, you should score what brains you have. There is the yield, which turns all shotguns into feet, so they get scared and run away. There is the dead end, which turns all feet into zombies because they get trapped in a dead end and the zombies eat their brains. And then there is the run over. So what happens here is, if you roll this die, you either have to get rid of a brain die that you previously rolled, it'd go back in the bag, or you can get rid of a brain token, it just kind of drops it. So it just makes it, harder for you to get a higher score. So again, you're just going to keep playing. It adds a little bit of variety to the game. And it's always fun to roll a nice fat die like this with a bunch of cool random sides. So yeah, that's the school bus expansion. So let's go up top and see what we think about it. Alright, so that was Zombie Dice Horde Edition. As you can see, this is a really quick game. It takes maybe 20-25 minutes to play, depending on how well or how terribly you roll dice. So yeah, you're just rolling dice, trying to collect some brains. The weird thing about this game is I really like it. There's really no decisions to be made at all, but I love this game. It is so fun. Like, you can just get into it and act like you're the zombie trying to eat the brains, or then when the shotgun blasts come up, when you lose, you pretend like you can be a zombie and you die. Yeah, it's fun. It's silly. The expansions, the Hottie and the Hunk and Santa Claus, they don't really add a ton, but they add some additional little pieces that could happen in the luck of the die. The bus, however, it does change the game a little bit because you have a few more decisions that you have to make. Like, if you roll the certain sides of the dice, you have to decide if you want to get off and chase the footprints, or you want to run them over, or whatever. So it has some additional decisions that you need to make, but still, it doesn't complicate the game any. It just makes it a little more different, I guess. A little bit of a different twist to the base game. It's really simple. I played the base game probably the most because there's just something satisfying about rolling some dice and trying to get more brains before you get shotguns, and always wanting to, I can take 1 more roll, I can get 3 more brains, and then you get 3 shotguns. Yeah, it's a fun game. It's one of my favorite, probably, Steve Jackson games, just for the simplicity and the fun of it. So yeah, that's Zombie Dice Horde Edition. If this looks like something fun to you, there'll be a link in the video description on where you can pick this up, or the Steve Jackson website, or somewhere where you can go to pick up this game if you're interested. So yeah, that's Zombie Dice Horde Edition. Talk to you later.